Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Anastasia and today we are talking about how not to lose your ever-loving mind working from home with kids. I want to talk about business tips and tricks. This channel is not just about oil tips, it's also about business tricks. And as a mother of 6, homeschooling 4 of those kids, and running a part-time business and a full-time business, as well as being a military spouse living overseas, I think I have learned some things along the way. I hope so. And in any event, I want to share with you today because maybe you're sitting there and you're contemplating it. Should I start a business? Can I do this? Let me first of all say this to you. If you are a mother, that's already a full-time job. Hands down, full-time job. Let's go back to the 1950s. Not that anyone really wants to go back there, but the 1930s or the 1800s. Back then, women had like teams and villages around them so that they could raise these children because it's important. You're raising the next generation. You want to have a human being that is going to not just contribute to society in a positive way, but I don't know, if you're like me, maybe you're trying to teach your kids to be kind and through kindness to also be creative and through creativity to change the world. I mean, no pressure, right? Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. Back to running a business, whether it's full-time or part-time, with already a full-time job, i.e. being a mother, you need to start out with a whole lot of grace, like a heaping tablespoon of grace. No, like a cup of grace. And grace and kindness towards yourself. Because nobody is perfect, regardless of what you see on social media or highlight reels or TikTok, or actually TikTok's pretty good. They don't seem perfect on there. Instagram, they really do. Facebook, they kind of try. But nobody is perfect. We're all human. And if you are wanting to venture out and do a business, start up an Etsy shop, start doing e-commerce, essential oils, fill in the blank, direct selling, become a YouTuber, be a gamer, I don't know what it is, be the CEO of a major corporation, yes, all the power to you. But for starters, you need to give yourself grace. And remember that you're human. Because for women, we already think we're super women because, well, we are, because we're Wonder Women. We cook, we clean, we drive the kids to a million activities, we help with homework, we run businesses, we wipe noses, we take care of sick spouses, you know? All the things. Hold down the fort, do the budgets, do everything. We do everything. You're wanting to start a business, you're amazing. You already are doing a business, you're amazing. Okay? That right in and of itself, I can't give enough attention to that. I just want to I wish I knew your name because right now I would say you are amazing. You're doing an amazing job. No matter how it looks. So I don't know if you guys remember this, but 10 years back, there was this whole thing about breastfeeding versus bottle feeding and working moms versus stay-at-home moms. And so now we're in this new era, post-COVID, still kind of during COVID, because we're living here in Korea and let's face it, it's still it's everywhere and it still affects our lives greatly. Not just in little ways, but in big ways. We learned how to kind of homeschool our kids, distance learning, staying at home, home education, that type of thing. We also learned, we have to set up cameras and lights and maybe a little bit of audio so that when we're doing Zoom and working remotely or working from home, social distancing, we're still able to accomplish these things and having toddlers come in and grown kids come in and dogs barking in the background. And this is where we're at now, where this is a new normal. And now we're trying to figure out how to navigate these waters. This is less of the 5 tips so that you can be successful and working from home with kids, and more of a giving you grace and having you give yourself grace for the situation that you're in, because no one has navigated these waters before. In essence, we're pioneers and we're figuring all this out as we go. Number 1 would be just give yourself grace. Number 2, recognize that yes, you're human and so is everybody else, but also you're Wonder Woman. The fact that you're even deciding you're going to do a job, or you are doing a job, part-time or full-time, when you already have a full-time job being a mother. Okay, we established that. As well as like being a spouse, if you have a spouse. That's also a whole other topic that probably we should discuss at some point. The next thing is going to be that this, and again, these are just things that have helped me along my journey, being an entrepreneur, being a working woman, running my own business, and I just really am an entrepreneur at heart. So I love to solve problems for people. That's what I love to do. And specifically, I love to help and solve problems for women and mothers. Get yourself a couple notebooks. This is just, I just fill them. You can get these probably at the dollar store, Target, if you're in the US. If you're here in Korea, you can pick them up at like Artbox or Daiso. So I just have a bunch of these pretty, they have to be pretty. So they have to be something that ignites creativity or sparks creativity within me. And also I like to have pretty and fun and cute pens. All right, so that's another thing. Getting yourself the tools that you need to get organized. All right, so you're starting out with a bunch of grace, you're realizing that you're human, but you're also Wonder Woman, and now you're getting yourself tools that you need to get organized. This is even before we're doing business stuff. If you are not a pen and paper type of person like me, then use your iPad and write on that. Use your phone, your smartphone in the notes section and make yourself notes, all right? Whatever organization means to you, because again, we're not saying this is a one size fits all. This has to fit with you. So the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to sit down and take some time to think and map out what is the most important thing that you need to get done this week. In the beginning, this is going to be something that takes you a while because it definitely is a learning curve, at least it was for me, because I have so many things that I'm thinking about and ideas and all that creativity. And so I will get kind of bombarded and very distracted, like squirrel, shiny things, with this process. So it's taken me a while to finally get to a point and say, this is the one thing that is really important for me to do this week. So for me, using a very real example, I just wrote down the most important thing that I need to do this week. I grabbed my little notepad here and my pen, and I wrote down the most important thing I need to do this week is make YouTube videos. All right, there's a lot of things that go into that, but that was the thesis, so to speak. That is my main focus. So this week, I had to then backwards plan everything else I needed to do so that I could accomplish that priority for myself, which the goal that I set for myself was to make YouTube videos. Now, I had a certain amount that I want to create. I have a certain schedule that I have started to work with, and this is all recently. So I'm not telling you this like, okay, yeah, this will be super easy. I don't think that this is easy. I think this is hard. I think that it is something that doesn't come naturally or easy to us as mothers. As women, we're able to look at things from such a different perspective, think outside the box, look at things, from just different angles. it's a superpower. It's absolutely amazing, but also it can become our kryptonite when then we're trying to figure out what we need to do and how we need to do it. And then if you throw in a little bit of perfectionism in there, which definitely I am guilty of, then you're gonna start to become distracted with all the good intentions of good things you need to do so that everything can be perfect. That leads me into my next point. Realize it's not going to be perfect and just start messy. So if you've already been doing business with kids and at home and pandemic and yada yada and all this jazz, you might have started to realize that maybe you're drowning underneath all of those expectations that you have for yourself or the frustrations. Totally get it. I've been there. Like, I think I want to do a live about this and just let you come on and vent and ask questions, because I think we're all feeling the same things and we're in the same boat together. But because we're like social distancing ourselves, a lot of us don't realize we're in this same boat together, this metaphorical boat. So putting aside your perfectionism, okay, which is real, I understand it's really hard if you're a perfectionist, if you are type A, if you have dealt with childhood trauma, if you are OCD in any way, if you have ADD, or ADHD, because you're going to start to look at one thing and then that's going to remind you of something else, and then the laundry, and then organizing the kids' shoes, and then, oh, you need to put oils in the diffuser, and then, oh, I need to write a store list, and next thing you know, you're sitting on the floor sobbing, looking at photos on your camera roll. Okay. Anybody else? Nope, just me. Got it. Getting rid of the idea of perfectionism. Not that, well, first of all, nobody's perfect, but you can get pretty close, right? That's gonna be through time. I don't like to say practice makes perfect, because it doesn't. Practice actually makes permanent. Somebody great said that, I don't know who. Next, get rid of perfectionism, start messy, and give yourself permission to start again. If you're already halfway through your career, if you've just started but you feel like, oh, I've already messed up with all these things, that's okay. That's what this video is about. That's why I'm talking to you about this right now. Because remember, grace, that's what we started with. We started with a whole bunch of grace. So you're going to start exactly where you're at, whatever it looks like. Whatever it is you're going to do. You want to go back to school, you want to start a YouTube channel, you want to sell things online, whatever it is, you can do it. You totally can do it. You just have to start with giving yourself grace. And then you need to start realizing what's the most important thing for that week that you need to get done. And then you're going to write it down. After you do that, you're then going to do the thing that you said you were going to do for that week. So for me, it was, I'm going to create YouTube videos. I had a certain amount I'm going to do. Now, something that you need to realize, is this something you need to do for the week? Is this something you need to break down and do each day and budget time to that? Also knowing that there's going to be things that are going to pop up. So if you're a morning person, then get up in the morning and do it before everybody else wakes up. If you're not a morning person, that's okay. Lots of us aren't, I'm not. Then do it at night, or do it during nap time, or ask a neighbor, put out a little flyer around the neighborhood and see if a neighbor can come over for 2 hours each day and watch your kids. These are just some ideas. Or you could get a nanny, hire a nanny, or you could put all the kids somehow magically in tumbling gymnastics or a class and give yourself an hour or two. That one's probably not good. But in any event, figure out your priority, what you need to do. We already know your full-time job, you're a mom, okay? You already kind of have that part down. And whether you've been doing it for a week or you've been doing it for 10 years, you have that part down. You know intuitively what your kids need. You know they need to eat. That's basically the main things, especially during the summer. So now you have to put yourself as a priority and accomplish the thing that you wrote down. And that goes back to just keeping a promise to yourself, making yourself important. Because maybe that's what you're really struggling with, is you aren't important in your life yet. You need to be. You are important. You matter. You have things that you want to do, and you have a lot to offer to the world. My next tip is going to be surround yourself in a creative space. If there's Legos on the floor in the boys' room and there's dolls and hair and everything in the girls' room, that was very gender specific of me. If there's things going on, toys and stuff everywhere, get yourself a room, all right? Even if it's your closet, even if it's your bathroom, wherever it is, and get yourself a space where it makes you feel happy and peaceful, and you find beauty in it. And your beauty doesn't have to look like somebody else's beauty, yada yada, but where you find beauty in it. And then from that place, do the work. My last tip, this one might be one of the best ones. I saved the best for last. And it's also a great launching point to continue this series on working from home with kids, all right? My last point is going to be set up for yourself, write it down, where it is you want your business to be in 5 years. How big it is, how the revenue that it's bringing in, the people that you are reaching and helping, how you feel 5 years from now in your business, and write it down and give yourself permission to dream a little bit. This practice is going to help you exponentially because it's going to reiterate to your mindset and to your heart and to your body that you are important, that you have goals that you want to reach, and they are worthy and worth doing because there is a destiny and a purpose to you being here. We know you're a woman, you're amazing, you're a mom, you're amazing, you're a spouse, you're amazing, but there's also things that you are put here on this earth to accomplish. And it's time you stop procrastinating, you stop making the excuses, you stop putting everybody else first, and you write it down, and then you do it. And that's it. It's really that simple. You will figure out a way. Where there is a will, there is a way. A motto I have lived by, like, probably my entire life. I am the person, if you come and tell me you're like, it's impossible, it can't happen, I will say no. Impossible literally says I'm possible. The word literally says it. So bottom line, set your goals, set your intentions, make yourself a priority, figure out where you want to be 5 years from now, and then give yourself a whole lot of grace. And the last little extra tip, don't compare your journey to someone else's. Don't compare your beginning to someone else's end. Because for a lot of us, if we're just getting started, you can't look at somebody else that's already 5 years, 10 years down the road with their business. You have to look right now at yourself, go inward, what you want to create, what you want to do, your purpose, your plan, the point for you to be here and to use up all your gifts. So I hope that you found value in this. I hope it was inspiring to you. Comment below. Let me know what it is, where you're at, how you're starting on this journey, where you're at on this journey. I want to inspire you. I want to ignite hope and creativity and inspiration to you. And if you enjoy videos like this, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell so that you'll get more notifications for when I go live or when I post a video, and give me that thumbs up like button as well. But blessings to you, and remember, you have a plan and a purpose for your life. Till next time.